Classic League Podcast time!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 279 of the Classic Elite Podcast. My name is Scott, and the root beer junkie to my left is Dustin. Dustin, what is going on, man?
Popping bottles here. It's been a long one, so I'm opening up Bundaberg.
I like the shape of that bottle. It reminds me of Red Stripe.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
It has these really weird top.
Oh, wild. So it almost like a pool tab. Like,
yeah, you have to like pull it out and then pull it up.
oh, hell yeah.
But again, it's Australian, so you probably have to use this to fend off like 15 different species of poisonous snake.
And hold it upside down while you're... Does it clug the other way in your mouth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes counterclockwise.
I was really... I was lucky enough to visit Australia, and was so disappointed. Everywhere we stayed was kind of like a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So hotels don't like swirl flush. They just have that like whoosh. So I never got to confirm the toilet swirl.
Damn.
I know, right?
There should be like a law.
The whole point of going, like, hey, the Americans are idiots. They think that the only reason to come here is to look at dangerous animals and toilet flushes the other way. Australia was amazing. If anybody ever has a chance to go, I didn't get to the Outback or anything. It was all East Coast, and also Brisbane. If you're American, go to Brisbane because an American designed the layout of the city, so it actually strangely feels familiar. It's made in like a grid and whatnot. It's cool. Australia is really, really rad. Very, very fun place. Very cool. So, yeah, we are a video game podcast. Thank you very much for listening. And before we get started talking about video game news and what we have been playing, Dustin, how has the week been, man?
Oh, man, long. Like, this is the first time I've had a break today.
And you're working, technically. Well, you're not working anymore because we're demonetized, so.
That's right. It's all free.
All volunteer. So, well, I'm glad that you were able to stick with it, though, and didn't cancel. I've got some friends that would have been very happy if I would have said, hey, I'm coming over. You know, people can't get mad at you if they invite you somewhere last minute, and you're like, I got plans. But my friend, she's like, oh, come on, just come and hang out, and then, you know, check in with Dustin. I'm like, look, you texted me at 3:30 on a Friday.
Yeah.
Like, you better have something real special. They're cool. So I may go and hang out with them after we record.
Like, this is a podcast about video games, all right? This is important.
You know what, though? All their kids think it's so cool that I do YouTube stuff. And I'm like, yeah, see, you guys were all making fun of me 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Like, you're still doing that YouTube thing? And now that they've got children, they're like, wow, you were way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, because video games are fucking awesome. That's just what it is.
Get with it.
So, yeah, man. I have nothing fun to report. I got a wedding I'm going to tomorrow of a dear family friend, so that will be a really good time. It was my mom's birthday, and last night we went to it's a Greek restaurant, and a staple of the town that I live in. The guy that was playing guitar in the alley was unbelievable last night. Like, unreal. It was just him by himself with like a looping pedal and stuff, and he was playing Pink Floyd, and like, so I'm not a Billy Joel fan, but I loved his cover of Piano Man. He did 2 excellent Prince songs. It was really, really fun. It was kind of like it was playing from my mom's iPod too, so she loves live music, so it turned out to be really fun. Ooh. So definitely a good midpoint to the week for us all.
Rob Scallon did a banjo cover of a Gojira song.
Oh, I got to go check that out. I missed that. Yeah,
it was good.
Gojira, man. I just put up a picture on our Instagram last night of Gojira and Contra. There's this Gojira performance on YouTube I love, the one that I sent to you. Mm-hmm. And I said something like, Contra on the NES is like Gojira. It's a little too hard at first, but then you realize it's perfect.
Yes.
And then a hashtag simile. So yeah, Gojira, they're a French heavy metal band, and I am obsessed with them. They just, when you see them performing live, it's just like they're having so much fun, and they're just a really positive. Like interviews, they're really positive guys. They don't have two of them are brothers and don't even have tattoos, but they sing like death metal. It's really crazy. Yeah. Like they're such a, I don't know, not the stereotypical guys that you would expect from death metal or whatever.
Yeah.
Their videos are. Those get creepy. But yeah, Gojira. Domez commented, and this is really cool. They used to be called Godzilla because Gojira is like Japanese for Godzilla, but they had to change their name a bit because of licensing and stuff. So they went with the Japanese version of Godzilla. Rashid, hey, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Yeah. I guess, I forgot to mention this last week, Dustin. If anybody wants to support the show, please leave us reviews wherever you find the show, or use our Amazon affiliate links in the description of wherever you're listening to the show, because we need the support sometimes. So, all right, cool. Well, to get things started, Dustin, one of your favorite things in video games happened this week. It
happened.
Eve happened. Hollow Espada, thanks for stopping over. Came over from Zarek's page. Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you very much. This is our buddy. But
yes.
Eve happened. So let's talk about that.
The largest Eve online battle ever. It had like 6,200 pilots.
That means it's a person, right?
I assume, yeah.
That's like what I assume.
Almost 6,500 people. There were... Was it 500 Titans or 50 Titans? No, 500 Titans.
56 Titans were lost. Like 27 to the winner and 29 to the loser of the battle. But 500 different Titans were involved. And if you're not familiar with Eve, it's the most hardcore game that I've ever imagined.
Yeah.
These Titans in real world money, I saw one YouTube video say that they're about $4,000. 500 of them were committed. Like, this is like China versus the U.S. for real. I mean, in video game world, as far as we're committing our biggest resources to this.
Yeah.
Their in-game currency is ISK, even though it's based out of Iceland. When that's the real currency there, but it's not the real Icelandic ISK, but there was like 10 trillion in-game dollars committed to this battle.
So cool.
It's so cool, man.
And it was for a station, right? Like a space station?
I believe so, yeah.
They thought it was a moon at first, and then turned out it was a space station.
Okay, yeah. Nice, man. We don't get to make fun of Star Wars enough on the show, so
yeah. Last shot I sucked.
I guess that's just the divide. Zarek's gonna high five you for that.
Yeah. So I think it was the South was trying to destroy the station, and they won. But it's not destroyed yet. There's like a 1 week leniency, and then if they battle again and they win again, then it will actually destroy the station.
Oh, okay. I didn't read that far into it.
That's what I understood.
You can see this like Twitch archives and YouTube archives of people commenting over this. There was one guy that was really good, but it was a 4.5 hour stream, so I didn't watch it. We'll be linking some, like, yeah, Dustin just put it in chat, and I'll make sure in the description to put a link as well of kind of like a basic 3-minute synopsis of what was going on. And man, it's so crazy to think that people have so much time and real money invested in this stuff, and they're like, we're doing it. It was as far as the largest battle, I don't know if it's the most expensive as far as like dollars lost for one side or the other, but they're saying that it's the most like quote unquote hardware actually committed into a battle. And I mean, it was two juggernauts going at each other. Like, when this game come out, 2002 or something like that?
Yeah, it's been forever. In video game terms, of course.
Yeah. I guess, you know, a lot of people talk about it as a spreadsheet game. You know, you're always crunching numbers and whatnot, but like we said, there's some really good commenters on that go through the entire battle and are sitting there live streaming, telling people what's going on and all that. It's just like, wow.
And the battle is so intense, they had to, like, I forget the term for it, but they slowed it down to the point that 1 second was taking 10 seconds because there was just so much computing going through. They had to slow it down for the servers.
That's crazy. And what's wild is it all exists, you know, in real time. So if you've got, you know, a lot of your people in Australia and Europe and North America, like some people are having it conveniently in a time of day that works for them, and some people are up at 4 a.m. having to do this stuff. Like losing sleep because it is all hands on deck, quite literally. It's really, I just can't imagine being this vested in a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, every couple of years, it's been about 3 years since we've heard, you know, a gigantic, was it about 3 years ago? Wasn't there that one tanker ship that just happened to accidentally stumble into the wrong territory, like at a typo or just fat fingered the keyboard and ended up starting the most expensive battle of all time, or like the biggest loss or something like that?
Yeah.
Zarek says AVGN has reviewed games less old than EVE Online. If that doesn't put it into perspective, I don't know what will. Also, hello Luca and Sheila, thanks for stopping out, appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome.
So yeah, we'll have links. PC Gamer put out an article. Unfortunately, YouTube, or not YouTube, but Google, I use on their phone, they're like, I don't know, news article recommending service on Google Now or whatever it's called. It used to be called Google Now. What's up, Ken? They recommended this article that PC Gamers got, you know, EVE Online, biggest battle of all times happening right now. So I immediately click on the link and send it to you, and then I looked and it's like 18 hours ago. I'm like, and today it gave me an article about coverage of the British Open. That was 2 weeks ago. Somebody at Forbes clicked on the wrong AdSense button and promoted the wrong article.
More like British closed.
God, Dustin. Okay, they can't all be winners.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
That was an excellent golf tournament, though, by the way. This year, 2018 U.S. Open, or British Open, was incredible. What's up, Ether? How you doing? We're doing good, man. So, yeah, what do we got next?
Steam game, cryptojacking, which I think it sounds way worse than it actually is.
Is it?
It sounds dirty. Cryptojacking.
I think I think it is as dirty as it sounds.
You are infected.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yes, a game on Steam was using people's rigs to mine for Bitcoin.
And this is the kind of thing where I totally am now on Zarek's team with Steam absolutely can afford people to check these games. Their algorithms are clearly failing them. And people need to be out there to see, like, why is this basic platformer, low resource game making CPUs and GPUs run real high? Like, you run the equivalent of, like, Super Mario in an emulator, and all of a sudden you hear your GPU fan, like, crank up. That's gross.
You got
cryptojacked. Do you remember in the 90s how you, like, thought for sure at some point in your life you were going to get carjacked?
Oh, yeah.
I was absolutely, like, sure that was going to happen to me someday.
I'm still that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Carjacking? It seems like such a horrible, like, high-risk, low-reward theft. A car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah. So, You download it. I mean, it's been removed, but what was the name of the game? I got the article from GeekWire. Abstractism. Yeah. I love how
cryptojacking is definitely cyberpunk.
Cryptojacking is cyberpunk. That's right. Hey, maybe this article warms your heart then a little bit.
Yeah, I feel at home for some reason. I feel like that's what when the people get hacked in Ghost in the Shell, that's what it should be called. He's being cryptojacked.
He's being cryptojacked. Yeah, that's not bad. But you know, they don't have it as cryptocurrency. They have like
crypto brains.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I was. I didn't come up with it the right way, but that's what I was thinking. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Good old Steam. You know, that's what happens when you have no restrictions.
Yeah.
It's wild. I don't know. I
kind of like it. Like, yeah, well, don't buy a 49-cent platformer.
Okay. The only reason I would say that is there's a certain level of trust that you have with a front end like Steam, where if you're giving this level of access to your computer, it shouldn't be like Napster. You know, you're paying for something. There should be some quality control in there. I mean, if you're out in the Wild West and you're downloading torrents and you're doing all that stuff, you know, then I'd totally agree with you. But this is supposed to be a reputable storefront.
I want Steam to become the next dark web.
They're on their way. Like, geez. But
you download the next game from this developer and just drugs show up at your house.
That's what it is. They don't even hide it. The game's just called Silk Road 2.
Yes. Yes.
It's a point and click adventure before you know it.
Oh man.
Yeah, whatever you choose in game, like just 3 days later is there. I don't know, man. Like, that's scary that it's this easy for this kind of malicious software to be on there. Now, I haven't really done anything on Steam that I would be worried about. You know, we get review codes, and it's always generally, if I buy a game on Steam, it's from a developer that we've heard of or talked about on the show at some point. Yeah. But if you don't know any better, and like you said, you know, you spend 49 cents on a game. Isn't that bonkers that they had the audacity to also charge for the game? Which I think's a smart cover.
Yeah.
You know, free looks more suspicious than paid.
Yeah.
Was it 49 cents? Is that what it was?
I think so.
I don't know. It just... They were doing some other stuff as well. I heard, it was 49 cents, according to the GeekWire article. I was listening to Will Smith over at... he was a guest on Giant Bomb this week, and he was talking about it. And they were doing some other nefarious stuff as well related to the trading cards over there. But I don't understand the trading card system. So I can't discuss it any further than that. So
from what I understand, you play games and you get random cards.
I've sold all my cards that I think I have acquired. And people pay like 3 cents, 4 cents for them. Mm-hmm. I've sold one for like 25 cents before.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, hey, Iceman, it's good to see you. Rob, thanks for joining.
That was like the Hagane of Steam cards.
Yeah, 25 cent. That's like way up there. So, yeah, I guess open monitoring software from now on when you buy a Steam game. Like, that's a gross suggestion to have to make, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Steam's like this, like, no management structure. They follow a lot of principles that I like, but at some point, like, I'm not a true free market. I do like some regulation. I don't want a store opening up next door to me. I like that my house is zoned residential, so you can't just open a bar next door to me. You know, there's some limitations, and I think having a person look at these games, you know, might be something that you need to consider, or make it really damn hard to get a game on Steam.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or
you could go the other way and make it so someone can open a bar beside you, but you get to challenge them to a fight to the death.
I would do that. Let's go. Protect my trees.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on board with that.
Whatever the Steam equivalent of that is.
No, really, you do that. The developer and you get together.
IRL.
The IRL, everybody that the Steam developer has to go undefeated to keep his game on the platform.
Yes.
Or her game.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a great cyberpunk movie.
That would be a great cyberpunk movie and a great IRL Twitch gaming channel crossover.
Okay, here we go. A guy is a martial arts world champion.
Okay.
A game developer.
Oh, okay.
His daughter, sister, father, family member needs a replacement heart, and it's going to cost $50,000. He can get that in Bitcoin, and he has to keep the game on the store long enough to hit $50,000 in Bitcoin, and he's fighting people long enough for that to counter to hit.
You know, I just watched a review today of Mortal Kombat, so I'm 100% on board with this idea.
Boom. Let's do it.
Ether says 2 developers enter, one dev leaves. But on the flip side of it being easy to get your game on Steam, a really cool thing happened. So there's this girl who's 7 years old, and her dad's a developer, has published games on Steam. His name's I think Andrew McDonald or something. I'll bring the article up. So anyways, his daughter was like, hey, Lance McDonald. I apologize. Lance McDonald. So his daughter was like, hey, can I make a game? And he's like, yeah, someday. And she pushed him. She's like, well, how about today? So he sits her down with a Windows 98 machine and a book and QBasic. And a week later, she had a game. It's like a math question game, so really rudimentary. And then when she was done, 7 years old, I'm impressed with this a lot. She decides, according to the article at Kotaku, that she thinks that, well, how about I try to share it with everybody like you do, Dad, instead of just the family members. And they put it on Steam, and it's getting positive reviews. And she's 7.
Oh, rad.
That's rad. It reminded me of Sully a bit, because she grew up playing games and seeing her dad do this kind of stuff, and she's like, I'm ready. Let's do it. And she read a book on QBasic and she started with the platformer or something like that and said it was too difficult. And so she even had the foresight to scale it back, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Bravo. Her name's Penny McDonald. Which, is that the last name of the girl from Pee-wee's Playhouse? The Penny Claymation girl? It should have been.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? Or
I went to Inspector Gadget.
Oh, yeah, her name was Penny too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The girl from Pee-wee's Playhouse might not even have been called Penny, but sometimes there were pennies in her eyes.
I know what you're talking about.
But Inspector Gadget makes way more sense than my reference, for sure.
Yeah, but yours literally had pennies in her eyes.
Yeah?
Like she was murdered by the Boondock Saints.
Yeah, I just, I'm impressed. This girl's probably going to be successful at life.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just like the fact that the Steam community also is giving positive reviews, because it's obviously a rudimentary game, but, they're supporting a kid, getting out there trying more than any of us have published on Steam. Mm-hmm. And how many times have we thought? The closest that we've ever been is me, Zarek, and Damez having a Mario Maker fight on YouTube, which was still one of the best things I've ever been a part of on the internet. That was so fun. So Penny McDonald. Oh, let me tell the game's name. It is called Answer the Question. And again, she's freaking 7. Very cool. She even did the interview with Kotaku. which I thought the dad has a lot of faith in his daughter.
Yeah.
That you know, you're going to be quoted. You're going to be on Kotaku, you know. But that's awesome. Zarek says, a math game. Did this girl remaster Number Muncher? I'm down for some Number Muncher. You know, I never played, that reminds me of Frog Fractions. Did you ever play that game?
No, I've heard a lot about it.
I've heard so many good things about it. That it's super fun, and the sequel came out and all that. Yeah, it's like a roguelike math game, from my understanding. It's just a game that makes math questions for you, but auto-generates them, I believe. Which, again, for a 7-year-old is really a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, all right, man, moving on. What do we got next?
Retro games are the best, and everyone agrees because the NES Classic outsells modern consoles in June.
That's rad.
They did, was it 350 million?
No.
In sales?
Oh, in sales, maybe.
Not in units.
Yeah, not in units.
Yeah, $350 million in sales.
Yep.
I was confident in my answer until I said it out loud.
You're like, oh, that's on record. Hold on, let me check that. Now, it's not entirely fair. You know, this is a little bit of a lazy comparison because there's a, $60 item versus a several $100 item.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to sell that many more units as well. That's a staggering number of units to sell in a month.
Yeah.
And you're right, retro games are awesome. Like
Even the little plug and play machines.
All the parents, you know, kids clearly have to be asking for these things. It's not just nostalgia.
I imagine kids today look at NES games the way that I would look at like The Doors.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Or like just good classic 60s and 70s rock.
Oh, so you want to mention a different band than The Doors? Because The Doors aren't good.
You don't like The Doors?
No, not really. You'd think I would.
Like, I'm not...
Dustin's like, do I show up next week?
I mean, I'm not going to, like, super defend them. I think they're okay.
They're okay. They're fine.
Jim Morrison looks a lot like Val Kilmer, so that's a positive.
That was, man, I was very eager to watch that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, how about dude from iRobot playing Freddie Mercury? Not iRobot, Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. He looks... Rami Malek, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's I like him in everything I've seen him in. He looks the part really well for a biopic, man. Yeah, I'll be very interested to see. Queen's one of those bands that I don't like a lot of their songs, but really appreciate them. Similar to, I don't like country music, but I hear certain country songs, I'm like, man, that guy can play guitar. Or like, whoa, she can really sing. There's some Queen songs I like, but for the most part, you know, they're just whatever. But I have a strong appreciation for them. They clearly are all awesome. And Freddie Mercury just seemed like a cool dude. So
yeah,
I'll be excited to watch it. And it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more of a positive. Like it's not going to get into his like end of life AIDS stuff. It's going to be more about like the band and the good times they had as a band. So that'll be interesting.
That's awesome. I
don't like sad movies very much. So, and between The Void and Never Let Me Go, I can't handle any sad movies right now, you know. Zarek says, wait, didn't the AVGN SNES Classic Eastbound or Earthbound episode come out in June? All credit goes to AVGN. Probably.
Yeah.
That was another great episode from him. Has he done any bad ones? I don't really think so. Maybe it's like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde one is bad, but I love it because it was like the first time he was on camera.
Yeah.
He just released a video today where he and some friends are reviewing Mac and Me. Do you remember that movie? There was like an alien that came down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got through like the first 5 minutes of it and then had to go. So I didn't get to finish it. But that I'm going to watch the end of that.
Put it back in me. Goodness.
Either says I look at old games and the platforms as a hunter looks at an old rifle. Weird analogy, but it makes sense to me. Yeah, or like a car guy looks at like an old classic car that's really well done. And I think the doors are a fair analogy. I was just making a joke. When you look at something that's just objectively good, just because it's old doesn't mean it stopped being good. And a lot of NES games are, fall into that category. So yeah, very, very cool. The NES Classic out there dominating the market, just like everybody said it would. I haven't bought one, but I also have stayed away from the video game or electronics section intentionally at the supermarket. So I got to be more frugal with my money right now. So, and then lastly, Dustin, when you were a kid, did you say NES or NES? If you were talking about, or Nintendo, but we can exclude Nintendo.
I always called it Nintendo, but after Super Nintendo came out, NES. No, NES.
I never heard NES or SNES until I was an adult and started listening to gaming podcasts like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a new term to me. And according to WarioWare, the new game on 3DS, Nintendo Life put out an article that shows that in the Japanese version of that game, Nintendo says NES as a corporation. And this feels like GIF versus GIF. I know the creator says GIF, but he's wrong. It's a GIF. Nintendo, you got this one wrong. It's the NES. NES is a character. The NES is the machine. It's the toaster.
Yeah.
You'll never convince me otherwise.
I don't know. Be Famicom over there anyway.
And that would be my argument as to they don't know better. They are looking at our culture, doing the best they can with our acronyms and letters. They don't know to enunciate it that way.
Yeah.
Although it did go from an initialism to an acronym because a lot of people do say NES. They turned it into a word and pronounced it. What do you guys in chat think? Ether, Zarek, Iceman, Pepper, Rob, what do you guys say? We got Sheila in here, Rashad. So, what do you guys think? I say NES. Rob 4259, what do you say? It's just weird. I was gonna try our low latency mode tonight on YouTube because they have that, but I'm a little iffy. I only get 10 megabit up internet, and I think that could cause some wonkiness, so I decided against it. He says, if you say a word, it's NES. As an acronym, it's NES. I guess I just never... out of college. I was out of college before I ever heard NES for the first time. I have heard NES, but that's weird as well. But, they
that's
have...
dumb.
Jim Kickass Gamer, hey, thanks for joining. We have NES... Rob, he capitalized NES, so I'm guessing he is saying NES as well. Zarek says Nintendo, and then NES after SNES was out for a while, just like Dustin. SNES really annoys me. It's irrational, but I hate it.
I heard someone say SNES once.
Oh, I've heard Super NES more than, or just Super. They just called it Super, which feels better to me.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Juicy came on the radio last weekend. I loved it. That's one of the best. That's one of the best rap songs of all time. Maybe one of the best songs ever. Yeah, Rob. Okay, so our chat seems to say NES.
Yeah.
So I'm going to chalk that up as a translation error because it was the Japanese version saying that. So Nintendo Life, good reporting. Way to dig up something that is totally insignificant, but we're talking about on a podcast. We talk about insignificant stuff. Nintendo Life has been a really good resource lately for fun retro stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
They got a nice review up of the mini Neo Geos that came out, those little mini arcade machines, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Oh, you remember the man, that old the like Neo Geo re-release that came out?
The mini
Yeah,
arcade machine? Is that what you're talking about?
The AES that came out.
No.
Man, that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Like, would it play carts?
I think so. And it had like an SD card, so you can emulate.
So I can't tell if these memories are feeling vaguely familiar or if I want them to be in my mind. Ether says, remember when Sega was good? I do. I still play the Sega because of...
Yeah.
Right. Not a good example, but I always have Sega games around me. Sega is good. They just don't make new stuff. That's great. Other than he does say not counting Mania. I did play some more Sonic Mania today. It's awesome. It's really... I mean, the extra characters, not really worth $5, but like I told you, it's like... It's our round of beers rule.
Yeah.
Here's $5. That game is so rad. Here you go.
The Rob rule.
Yes. Oh, that works really well with Rob the Robot and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If any new listeners are there, Dustin and I have decided that we're willing to pay for a game when we would like to buy a round of beers for the developers. So, if you're going to spend $5, $10, $15, $20 on a game, just because you want to buy them a round of beers, and that would be an acronym, not an initialism. I hate it when people say initialisms are acronyms. Kind of like when someone says that they're alumni of somewhere. It's like, no, you're not. You're a singular person. Alumni is plural. Yeah. Mania was a breath of fresh air for Sonic. Totally agree with you, Ether. Absolutely. So that's going to be it for news this week. And Dustin... it is time to talk about the YouTube channel of the week.
YouTube channel of the week. Week. Okay, so I'm going to call it Slope's Game Room because most of the videos are titled that.
Okay, we're going to do two this week then because we got to give Ben suggested Bithead.
Okay.
So we're going to have two channels to feature this week.
Good. I didn't watch Bithead yet.
It's awesome. I didn't watch Daniel, so.
So Slope's Game Room is the like his YouTube handle. His name is Daniel Ibertson, and he does different retrospectives. I watched the Streets of Rage retrospective, and it was really good. And I am going to link the Splatterhouse retrospective because it was also awesome.
I've been in a retrospective mood. I've been using the game trailers archives as my go-to to fall asleep because I've seen them all.
Yeah.
I don't recommend using game trailers retrospectives to fall asleep unless you've seen them all.
Right, yeah.
Because you will get sucked in. But yeah, I will definitely go check this out. And Splatterhouse, I think the only real Splatterhouse one I've ever watched was the old Happy Video Game Nerd. Now Stop Skeletons from Fighting Derek Alexander. His Splatterhouse was amazing.
They're so good.
So what kind of things from Slope's Game Room, I guess, jumped out to you about this retrospective? Is it like his commentary or like what?
It is thorough, but without being exhaustive to the point of boredom.
Okay. That's a tough balance.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Awesome. I will definitely check that out. Yeah, Daniel, and he pronounces it Ibertson?
I think so.
Okay. Slope's Game Room, definitely check that out. Or Ibertson. One of the two. And last week, also, Ben Martin, our photographer friend in New York, he suggested that we check out Bithead 1000. And, dude, So I click on a video. It's like 45 minutes long of like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis is in the title. I'm like, okay, cool. If you like Bill Burr, you will love this guy. He starts off talking about like being at the zoo and like seeing this gorilla and being all grumpy. And he's like, all I wanted to do was just sit there and have a staring contest with that gorilla and like kind of see where it goes. And he's like, these are the things that are popping in my head. I don't know. He just had such a Bill Burr type delivery. He's definitely from the Northeast. Like he has the Boston, New York kind of accent. Okay. Ben Martin is 100% correct. Bithead 1000 is excellent. Just very, very funny. You just have to be, I guess, in the mood for just that off the top, but like dead honest and spot on commentary.
All right.
It's really, really good. Oh, and Zarek says, Player with Power, who we had featured early as one of the YouTube channels of the week. Player with Power did a Splatterhouse poetry review. If you guys remember who that is. Yeah, we do. His name's Bill. He doesn't upload that frequently, but I'm still subscribed. I see him every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Player with Power also is another good... He's very small. Well, maybe not so much anymore, but he had like 100 or 200 subs when you found him and deserved way more than that. So hopefully, yeah, he's really funny. And yeah, Bithead 1000 and Slopes Game Room. Check out all that stuff on YouTube. We watch a lot of YouTube, so we always feature a channel that we're into for the show each week. Week. sorry. I think that Dustin, you really would enjoy Bithead 1000. I think he will speak to you. I guess. I think you'll find him pretty funny.
Cool.
Just like a no nonsense kind of guy, but like aware of the absurdity of kind of what he's talking about. I really enjoyed it. Either says, "Hey Scott, do you want to see something cool?" Zarek, get the band hammer ready. Yes, Ether, definitely. You can send a link or do the ASCII for us in the chat. But while we're waiting on something cool to arrive, or you can email us, classicelite@gmail.com. Oh, the Arizona dust storm view. I will check that out afterwards. I heard that they had a dust storm happening. Where should I go for that? Should I just go to it? Or, like, I don't want to obviously go to weatherchannel.com because it's basically a tabloid website. It's worse than IGN. It's like, you go there for weather, and it's just a bunch of, like, paid articles. Okay, he's going to give us a link. I remember Jason Heine. He lives out there in Phoenix or something like that. Heine House Entertainment. Used to be EMU Review on YouTube. And he showed like a video of it coming at them. And it was just this giant wall of sand that you could just see rolling in. I was like, holy shit. That's wild.
Yeah, dust storms suck ass, man. They're bad.
Oh, yeah. You've probably been through quite a few of them being in the Middle East.
Yeah. Without any shelter, just sitting out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, does it just feel like things are like just... Is it almost like when your hand falls asleep and you feel needles?
Yeah. It's terrible. I had to take a leak in a dust storm, and I don't think a single drop hit the ground.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like all over the place.
Gross. It won't let me paste it. Send us a link to classicleet@gmail.com or Twitter. Our handle is classicleet, and we'll take a look at it. So, Dustin, man, what have you been playing this week?
I played some more Splatterhouse. I finished it. Check this out.
It's the correct case.
Yeah. I got my case in.
Looks good.
It's actually a complete copy again.
Looks good.
So here's a really dumb thing. The part that was cracked was the clear plastic part that you can easily pop off and replace.
So you can just use your Wilson Phillips Greatest Hits CD to replace that, right?
Exactly.
So he should have been thinking. Okay, he says look up Arizona Haboob.
I'm not falling for that again.
Safe search will be on. I'll be looking in incognito mode.
Oh goodness! But yes, I played through the rest of it. I beat up Jennifer, and I got through the heart of the house, and then I escaped with the fire dudes jumping at me. I was I was playing it, and I was telling Solly, like, dude, you can't watch this. Like, he was in bed, but he'll sneak out of his bedroom and like stand in the hallway and watch me play video games.
Sure.
When he's supposed to be sleeping. And he came out at a point where it was okay. So I just paused and was like, hey, dude, you can't see this. You got to go back to bed, which was the dumbest thing I could have done, because saying, hey, you can't see this is going to make him go, there's no way I'm out seeing this. So, of course, I'm fighting the final boss, which is like this giant flesh head that has like 3 mouths. It's like this completely horrific thing.
Okay.
And yeah, he saw that. So he might have, like, in 20 years, he'll be doing a podcast saying, the first time I was really scared, I walked in on my dad playing Splatterhouse. This giant flesh head thing. I've had recurring nightmares about it ever since. Dude,
Tim Curry in Legend as the devil.
Ooh.
Terrified me.
Yeah.
That,
I imagine so.
That and Return of the Living Dead, the 80s movie. The scene where, like, the girlfriend ate the brains of the guy in the chapel.
Oh, man.
Like, that's the first time I remember a real nightmare was that. So I guess I've never been to the end game of Splatterhouse. So you beat Jennifer, and then is it like Metroid style then, where there is a little bit of post game where you can die still?
So you fight her on the 5th level, and then there's a 6th and 7th level.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I assumed that twist was that was it.
Man, that'd be a cool ending. Like, you just kill your girlfriend and then it's over.
That the whole time. I mean, I've known that twist. I assumed that was it. Like a take on. Sorry, Mario, your princess is in this castle and she's gonna eat your face off.
That would be awesome. If there was a Splatterhouse remake, that's what they should do.
Absolutely. And again, you were playing this PC Engine, of course, or Turbo Duo, or Turbo Graphics, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. As far as console, that is the only way to play the first one, right? Unless you get the 360 re-release. It wasn't until 2 or 3 that were on the Genesis, and maybe some other things as well. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
The OG TurboGrafx game is probably only available on Virtual Console.
Okay.
So you can't even buy it anymore, right?
I thought you could unlock that version in the 360 game.
That's the original arcade version.
Oh, it's not the PC Engine version.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Eric says, your son will make a final boss in a video game based on a childhood memory of that terrifying and confusing moment. Then a 90-year-old AV Jan will review it. Yep. That'd be great. So, okay, you beat Splatterhouse. What else were you up to this week?
I bought some rare video games, actually.
Oh, shocker.
So, and it's the first time in a long time. But
Well, you saved all that money by not buying another 4-tap or whatever, so you've got money to burn.
I reinvested that. So Slick Deals had a buy an eBay gift card, like a $100 one for $90.
Oh, okay.
So I picked one of those up as like it was on my vacation, so that was like my splurge purchase on my vacation, even though I was just sitting in my recliner like 10 feet that way. So I had that just kind of tucked in my pocket, and one game that I've wanted for a hot minute became available for around that price, and it's Cursed Castilla EX. Oh,
weird. Okay, a PS4 game. I did not expect that.
It is a Ghouls and Ghosts clone.
Oh, weird. That definitely seems like it would be a Castlevania clone.
Yeah. But there's only 3,000 of those. So
really?
It's a pretty rare game.
Was that a limited run release? Is that why it's PS4? Or is it?
It's a, what is it, East Asia?
Oh, okay. Or Play Asia, one of the, like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those websites.
Yeah, limited runs like. We'll call
Yes. But yeah, pick that up. And you would be happy. I opened it immediately.
Yes. Good
Because
for you.
when I was holding it in my hand, I was like, I could buy the digital version and keep this. And I was like, no, that's stupid. And I just immediately opened everything.
Good for you.
I
Games.
opened the soundtrack.
Yes. And then you rip it and then put it back and never will open it again.
Okay. If I ever won the lottery, that's the YouTube channel I would have.
Opening rare shit.
This is Curse Castilla. There's only 3,000 of these made, and then I would just take the top of the box and go and just tear it in half.
You know what though? There's a good chance you would earn the amount of revenue back that you just depreciated that item from, with the amount of views you would get, until you were demonetized for some bizarre reason. Arioka also commented just briefly, FM Towns Marty had a perfect arcade port of Splatterhouse.
Right on.
What is the MF Towns Marty?
It's a rare Japanese system that came out.
Wow. I obviously gotta go to Google search.
I think
this is cool.
I think it's the one system Bar Drinks guy. What was his name?
Oh, John, Games 31.
Games
John
31,
Lester.
yes, thank you. I think that's the only one that we don't share.
Otherwise, you think this is cool, man. It looks like someone took like an IBM Aptiva and crossbred it with a that Famicom Disk Duo that you have from Sharp.
Yeah,
the XI. What's that one called? Fami Twin. What? Twin Famicom? Okay. Yeah, there's like a floppy disk on the side of it. This is red. Oh, yep. And one of the first images is definitely a Splatterhouse, sourced from obscurevideogames.com.
Zarek, you were totally right. That is one of your ideas. The opening, like,
oh yes,
tearing up.
So you're just recalling it, and you're just aping his idea.
Dude. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Taking credit. Well, you just have to link his YouTube channel in the description, and all is well, right?
That's true. Yeah.
I love when people are like, I put in the description. I'm like totally free from all liability, right?
Right.
Like people put up on their YouTube channel, like not intending to infringe on copyright when they like post a song, like just because I didn't intend to like shoot her in the face, but I did, so I'm going to jail. Make a video where I purchase a lot of fake classic games that are super expensive, and then rip them open. That's so okay. You say that it's a PS4 game though. So when you say Ghosts and Goblins, like aesthetically, is it an 8-bit or like a like a Shovel Knight type of thing, or is it more polygonal? Or
it is very much like the arcade version of Ghosts and Goblins.
Okay.
It even has a bunch of different graphics options where you can do like CRT scan lines and what's the company that really does that? Like they've made Sonic games that I can't
do scan lines. Wait,
yeah. They do like all kinds of really weird graphical things that you can do. Like they could I'm not gonna be able to come up with it, but dadgummit, my screensaver. Yeah, they are really granular with the graphics.
Okay, that's cool.
Graphics options.
Do they have like the CRT mode where they kind of like bow it and like round it a little bit? Like, have you seen those before? That's always weird. I don't play that, but I appreciate that it's there. I kind of like this fake scan lines. I know a lot of people don't like it. But the AVS and the OSSC do a really nice job with it. I kind of like it. It does not do well if you're streaming it. I found out doing a Castlevania 3, Ojimaku Denjetsu or whatever it's called. I did a stream with it, and because on my monitor it looks awesome with the scan lines, but it does not look great on stream to do the scan line. So I turned them off on stream in the game. But
Stupid YouTube.
Damn compression that makes the most unbelievable things possible for us for free, you bastards.
But it's one thing you did wrong.
Yeah, get that scan line compression right. Come on. So how far, I guess, have you gotten since you cracked it open? You've played it.
I think I got to the 3rd level, 4th level. Oh, they did have a Rondo of Blood reference.
Oh, hell yeah!
One of the levels, you're on the back of a cart, kind of like when you're in the wagon at the first stage where you fight Grim Reaper.
Yeah, dude, that game's so freaking hard. I need to play Symphony of the Night sometime, more than like a half hour. Just because like Rondo is still my favorite out of all the ones that you've got me to try. But if you say Symphony of the Night's your favorite, push come to shove, I feel really disappointed in myself that I have not, given that game a real good go. At least get to the halfway point. Yeah, at least got to get that far. There have been
several occasions where I've dreamt about Symphony of the Night.
That's wild, man.
Like, I dream about how good that game is, and then I wake up and I have to play it.
Well, have you, speaking of that, have you heard much about Chasm? It's like it's an indie game. It just came out a couple days ago. I saw Tom Happ, the Axiom Verge guy, tweeting about it, and it's a game that's been in development for 5 years or so, and it has some roguelite tendencies in it, and it's so more like a Mega Man or the 20XX kind of game. Mm-hmm. But it is hardcore Symphony of the Night. Some of the like sprite animations, and I believe it's just one person that did it all, similar to Axiom Verge. So I was wondering if you had saw much about it. There's another kind of Ninja Gaiden type of game also called Dead Cells that I really want to play. That's a run-based roguelike kind of game. But look at Chasm, man. I think you might really love it. Chasm. And I don't know, it's right up your alley.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd love. Speaking of Castlevania, the trailer for season 2 dropped.
Did it? I'm not going to watch it.
Me either. But it's put out there if you want to see it.
Good. I'm glad it's out there. I guess it is August, man. Football, NFL preseason started last night. So we are right on the doorstep of the fall, and it's October. Yeah, you got to be getting excited, man.
I almost wrecked the other day because I was driving past, going to get Simon from daycare.
Okay.
And there was on my route, there was a big sign up that it was like a job fair for haunts. Like, come be a haunt actor. Like, I almost wrecked. I was so excited.
When you were a kid leading up to Christmas, did you ever do the rings that you would, like, that were strips of paper that you would glue together, and you'd put like 15 rings together, and every day you got to rip off a ring?
Oh, no, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, we would make it one day in grade school or whatever, and then every day you'd get to rip one off, and you would tape it up in a doorway, like on the side. So as a kid, you got to see like how much closer you were getting to Christmas. You totally need to just tape some jack-o'-lanterns around and have like Sully help you like count the days down, and just ensure 100% he is just a Halloween kid. And when deep down you just are going to be excited, like, oh yeah, there's only 9 more days. Yeah,
like I'm using him as an excuse.
Yeah.
Man, if I didn't have Simon that day, Kim probably would have come home to just the whole house being decorated for Halloween. Like, I was so excited. I'm still excited.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Halloween's the best.
Oh, yes.
So, Zarek's got some stuff. He says, I've expanded upon my idea in recent years. I would include playing the games, and I would make sure to do some slabbery blows to clean the brand new games before I played them. You seem like spit, like, into the cartridge slots, and then leave the most expensive games on the floor of the console. Use them as a coaster. like texting the kid on YouTube that he uses graphics cards as his coaster, like while he's doing his show. And, like right now, it's tapered a little bit. Like the market's come back to reality as far as graphics card prices. But that was pretty funny. You know, he'd have at the time, like an $800 graphics card, and he's like setting his coffee on it just because they have so much like gear. I'm like, that's kind of funny. What do the kids call that? Flexing? I don't know.
Raising the roof, I think is what it's called.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's definitely what the kids say.
They do their hands like this?
Yes.
Raise the roof.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was just thinking about middle school the other day. We were talking about... we're talking about music we listened to in middle school. Yeah. I had some good, but some bad, but I still like it because fond memories and whatnot. Like Soul for Real, Candy Rain. Amazing song. Go Google it, all you youngsters out there. You'll laugh at me, but it's amazing. So, outside of Curse of Castilla, you got back into Flashback?
I did. And I wanna pose this question to you and to the chat. Did anybody hear about this? The Flashback 25th anniversary collector's edition that came out.
I saw some stuff on Twitter about it. Now, I had not seen that plastic cover or that cardboard cover that you have. I just saw the Switch case. That now is that that new modern version? Mm-hmm. Or does it have both? Does it have a port of the old?
It is okay. So it actually doesn't do anything to my knowledge so far with that really weird like last gen remake.
Okay.
It's all the like 16-bit version.
Oh, okay, cool. I assumed it was a re-release of that 2013 game or whatever. That
yeah, I think basically everybody forgot about that game.
Yeah, not a lot of people like. The only reason I learned about it was you were talking about the old one, and I was doing an image search while we were recording, looking for like a screenshot for the show notes.
I need to go back to that. I wonder if it's still terrible. It probably is.
Come on, it's not wine.
But okay, so I picked up the 25th anniversary collector's edition. I heard nothing about this game. Heard nothing about it. I got a bunch of Amazon gift cards for my birthday, and I bought a bunch of stuff. And Amazon was like, "Hey, you bought this stuff. Maybe you'll like this 25th anniversary Flashback game." And I was like, "Yes, I would. I would like that." So I bought it.
Hell yeah, man!
Just right off, I was just like, "There's no way I'm not buying that," because it comes with the game for Switch, and it comes with this collector's case shaped like a Super Nintendo.
Oh, dude, that is awesome!
Right? And so, I always thought of Flashback as a Super Nintendo game, even though it was released on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, okay.
It had a Sega CD port that had like CG cutscenes that were fully voiced.
Really?
But everybody, for some reason, thinks of it as like a Super Nintendo game. But the game comes with a little like numbered metal. Like this is 674 out of 40,000.
Hell yeah!
And it has like a color, like full-on instruction manual. Sorry.
There you go. Oh, that's gorgeous. Nice thick paper too.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it doesn't fit in either of the cases. Like it's taller than the case. It doesn't go in there.
Come on, what are they doing?
But it fits in this case, so that's all that matters.
I wish the case that you had was a multi-cart case, so you could put other Switch games in with it.
Okay.
Like, have you seen those? Like, let me see. No, I can't reach it. But there's like, I've got like a 3DS case where you open it up and it's actually slots for, I don't know, 10 games or something like that.
Cool.
Which would be cool.
But yeah, I've played it. I'm in like stage 5 now.
Okay.
When you first start it, you'll have like a new mode and 8-bit mode, which I don't understand because it should be 16-bit mode.
Yeah.
But the 8-bit mode is the original game. And the new one is, of course, the remake, which has again, it has like CRT. It has a graphics option that looks like VCR tracking.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's a really cool looking game.
That Mac and Me video from AVGN had a VHS filter over the intro.
Cool.
Which is cool.
It has like all kinds of filters, anti-aliasing, so you can make it look super new and polished, or you can make it look old as hell and like OG. So it has the remix soundtrack sounds awesome. It sounds like synth wavy.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Although, oh man, okay, so I would punch a baby for a version of this game where the soundtrack is a master boot record.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got that great flashback cover.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Man, it would be a great collaboration.
I thought you were going to say Carpenter Brute, but master boot record for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Carpenter Brute, but I want a master boot record option on almost all the games I play.
Yes.
You know?
There's just an MBR box that you can tick.
That would be perfect. More great ideas. Good on Amazon for using its algorithm appropriately.
Yeah.
You know, for
excited.
years I've been impressed with their recommendations. They generally are like, even if I'm not going to buy it, like, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that. But I do have to go and, manipulate the recommendation sometimes, because if I buy like I don't know, like for like some of my godkids or whatever, I buy them like presents for their birthday or Christmas or whatever, and it screws up they're like, don't you need this baby bottle washer? I'm like, no. Just because I bought one Speak and Spell does not mean. So, well, cool, man. Any other thoughts on Flashback? You said the port looks good, runs good?
Yeah, it's great. One big knock on it is you can't configure the buttons. Like, they are set the way they are. And I've played the Super Nintendo version so many times that it messes me up on occasion.
I wonder why that would be. I mean, it's how could they be different than the Switch?
In the Super Nintendo version, the A button pulls your gun out and the Y button fires your weapon.
Yeah.
It's also the one you hold down to run, and you use that a lot for your Prince of Persia jumps, where you run and then you wait till the last minute and you hit up and jump.
Yeah.
And it's reversed in this.
That's a cardinal sin. It's like what Capcom did on the GameCube with the Mega Man collection. They swapped the A and B buttons on that.
Oh my gosh.
That's the reason that I hate the Dogbone controller for the NES. I don't care if people think it's more comfortable. The buttons are slanted upwards, and they need to be slanted down. Like, it needs to be, what would that be, X and B? Yeah.
Y and B.
Y is the one on the left?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it needs to be Y and B, not B and A or whatever. I hate that. So,
and it's $40. $40 for this game.
Well, at least the packaging makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's really pretty badass that they have that collector's cart with it. Like, that's gorgeous.
I never hear anybody talk about Flashback for some reason.
I can't believe they made 40,000 of those.
Oh, and it came with a soundtrack.
Oh, rad. Okay. Download, I'm assuming that's on a CD?
Correct.
Cool. Well, I have been playing some more Sonic Mania. I did not do a very good job of describing the yellow guy last week. I said he was kind of like Knuckles, but I only played him for a couple seconds before I lost him. Today I played him a little bit more, and it's a lot like having the feather in Super Mario World. How you can like dive down and get some lift or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I said it earlier, Sonic Mania Plus, it's just the game again, just with some extra characters as far as I can tell. But Sonic Mania, it puts a smile on my face. It's just, the music is perfect and it's just great. So, and also, I had a great Rocket League experience last night. I'm playing on my Xbox, and there was like a close call. I forget exactly what happened, but it wasn't worth talking shit to me about. And someone's like using the what a save, when it was not an obvious, easy move for me to actually save the ball. So I just typed really and then a question mark. Like, dude, like, if you're in a glass house, you know, I mean, he'd been sucking, you know, or she or whatever. So with about a minute to go, they typed out, sorry for being a jerk earlier, like in the middle of the game. And we ended up coming back and winning because like, I did the kill him with kindness. So like I said, really? And, then we scored a goal and I said like, good pass or nice shot, whichever happened, you know, just like being polite back as well. And using it appropriately when they actually did do something good, then I would use the compliment where he complimented me after kind of whiffing on something. But yeah, apologized mid-game, and then we came back and won. I'm like, wow. Every now and again, you get lucky with an experience. So
PMA.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, I've been playing some Sonic Mania and Rocket League. I haven't been doing much as far as the video game front is concerned. Had some longer nights doing things, and been playing guitar. Just jamming out.
Cool.
That kind of stuff. So, that's going to be it for what we have been playing. So, Dustin, let's get to our comments and feedback from the last couple of episodes, and then we'll call it a show. Domez has a couple that we didn't get to last week, so I'll go ahead and read those, because I believe Oh, go ahead.
I saw our title was Golf with Ludacris, and I snickered.
But I remember us talking about his Ease 3 controls, and he rented it on the SNES. I believe we talked about that, but what he didn't say is, and thank you, Demas, for doing this. He sent us an email. He says, I'm going to check out the dubbed version of Ease 4 and get you guys a working link. Stay tuned. He did email some stuff. Were you able to have any success with what he was trying to share with you?
I downloaded what he shared with us, and I burned it and had the same problem.
Okay.
The text was translated, the dub was not. So I'm wondering, I don't know, but I'm wondering if it's a hardware limitation on my end.
Yeah, like you don't have it's not reading like a codec or something like that, or it's not like the burning software is not. Interesting. And go ahead.
Sorry, I replied to him and let him know, like, hey, if you have any luck with this, let me know.
So, yes, please, Dumaz, if you do, let us know for sure.
Faux shizzle.
He says, did y'all know the chick with the whip in Curse of the Moon is the same chick from Ritual of the Night?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But if other people were not aware of that, yeah, that's cool. He also says, a hot tip for Mario Kart 8 200cc. Choose the slowest car you can find with the slowest max speed combined with the worst acceleration you can find. Way easier to control and way less crashing. He is absolutely correct. There's a little mini... It's I don't know if it's a Koopa Kid or like just a regular Koopa kind of thing. But yeah, there's definitely a little tiny slow guy with bad acceleration, and it makes it so much more manageable. He also says, try do what this challenge with Game Boy Tetris. So whatever. So I think he's saying try to do this on the Game Boy. He says, I beat the game. I beat it on Game B with the max starting random height. It actually ends so it has a finishing screen. I challenge thee. I did it on a real Game Boy too with the crappy little screen, but if you have a Super Game Boy or whatever, I will allow it. I do have a Super Game Boy, which is really cool. Super Game Boy is really neat. Gaming Historian has a great video on it showing some of the different features that are kind of locked in it. It's not intuitive how to open up the menu for different color palettes and things like that, and different background graphics. There's a lot of cool features in the Game Boy. Oh, Zarek also says the Chasm game, it's getting mixed reviews on Steam, so he's going to do some more research. But it reminds him of another pixel art game called Noida. Check it out on Steam. It looks like it's going to be great. The release date on Steam is when it's done. No, I will look that up. Noida. And then he also says, and I'm still with golf. I'll let you take the recent episode. He says Pinbot on the NES is literally the exact same as the real Pin. He said I mastered Pinbot in the arcade first, and then to my shock, the NES Pinbot had everything the real one did. Even the fact that there is a dude that comes to kill you in the NES version. Everything else is present in the real one, and I love the NES version. Such a great port. I always remember really liking the boobs on the robot. There's like a robot boob lady. I remember thinking that was really risque to have in an NES game. And my grandma had it, so I was like, "Ooh, I'm looking at something bad at grandma's house." Like I swear that they even like drew the nipple on, but it was all robot-y.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Jerry Bruckheimer must have been there to art direct that game. Dumbass says TJ Miller is my second favorite guy from Silicon Valley, so we have a disagreement there. He says it sucks that he's been accused of grabbing women or something, so now he's off the show. And I did not know this, Dustin. He says at the end when Dustin says boosh, but he spells it BOOHS, that is French for mouth.
Mouth.
Gojira would be like, why do they say mouth at the end of... Because they're obviously going to listen to the show.
Yeah.
They'll be like, why does he say mouth at the end? So weird. Okay, cool. So we have a couple other things from Root Beer Adjacent from Demez and Zarek. You want to take those?
Yeah, let's see. We'll continue with Demez. He says, I could beat Contra 3 on normal every time I played back in the day, but I never beat it on hard, which sucks because you don't get the good ending unless it's on hard. I beat Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3 on the NES back in the day. Huge achievement. Even number 3 with limited continues.
That's really impressive. That's awesome.
Some legit video game play.
Yeah, seriously.
About people who complain about the mouse in Rogue Legacy or having to have both hands on keyboard. Do these people not know that gamepads exist? I hear so many people say they don't like PC gaming because they don't like keyboard and mouse. It's weird.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like, I play Rocket League sitting at my computer desk with my controller. I think, and people play keyboard with Rocket League all the time.
That's weird.
So I totally agree.
Hell, I have an Xbox 360 pad I use for PC gaming.
Yeah,
I haven't used it since like 2009.
It's baked in. Yeah, so that goes to his point. Like, it's not like this is a new thing.
This is terrible news. Demet says my PC Engine Duo does not make sound anymore. I popped in Gate of Thunder expecting the awesome rocking soundtrack. Nothing. I am a sad panda.
That really does hurt my heart a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
no
sucks,
jokes
man.
aside. Get it capped. Didn't you send it to a guy in Canada? Was he Canadian? I forget. I don't know why it's in my head.
It didn't have any poutine on it when it came back.
So, definitely not then. The brown sauce was eaten.
Yeah, I got mine recapped, and it's been awesome ever since.
Cool.
That's a bummer. And Zarek commented, and he says, I was stunned when Scott said he hadn't seen The Thing. It's a freaking masterpiece. Now I want to talk about it so badly. By the way, I actually died when Scott said this. I was testing a Monster Hunter World build with the podcast on in the background. I turned away from the game and looked at my second monitor in shock. I was dead by the time I turned back around. Daggone.
Sorry, Zarek.
Kolv Taroth doesn't play around.
We all know. That's the only thing we know about Monster Hunter is that we all have glaring holes. But we will be correcting that. That's going to be our October one, right? We're going to watch to celebrate Halloween. We're going to watch and do a spoiler cast of The Thing. And at the end of August, we'll be doing A Cabin in the Woods. So here's your heads up. 3 episodes from now or whatever, we're going to do a spoiler cast. Last week we did The Void, which I had a lot of fun doing. So we're going to do Cabin in the Woods at the end of August, and we'll find something great for September, maybe The Witch or whatnot, or whatever you decide on. But The Thing for October for sure, 100%.
I'm so happy this year because my buddy Aaron, who is into horror movies as much as I am, he is still National Guard, so he has training like one weekend every month, of course. And this year it lined up, so the day he's available is like the last Saturday of Halloween or of October.
Perfect.
And that is like my movie marathon is the thing that I'm most excited about in regards to Halloween. So I get to maintain my excitement almost through the entire October.
Hell yeah. Well,
it's going to be great.
Good. If anybody deserves a good October, it's you. And then secondly, me, because my birthday's in October as well. Yeah. So, awesome. Well, Dustin, I think that's going to be it for the week. We had almost a 3-hour show last week, so an hour and 20 minutes seems nice and tidy for a follow-up.
Yeah. Hey, if oh wow, none of that was words. I'm so sorry. Let us know if you listen to the horror part of the podcast, and if it should be like a separate podcast.
What, the spoiler cast at the end?
Yeah,
I thought about doing that, chopping it up and having.
Just so it's not a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, I agree. I will. It's only once a week I have to do that. On YouTube, it'll probably stay as one video. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. I might upload. Or maybe I can just edit out that and re-upload just the spoiler cast section of it. Mm-hmm. So that section will be on YouTube twice. But I don't know.
You can do a separate recording?
We could. It won't matter. But actually with YouTube, I could trim it as well and just delete that end of the video and then take the OBS file and just re-upload the spoiler cast section. But if you're live, you'll see it all, and we'll just do it in one go. So that's cool. Zarek says to fuck. He says, I looked up the robot from Pinbot. I found something called Bride of Pinbot instead. That's a very adult-looking pinball machine. Vepper says he's disappointed it's only once a month. I don't want to burn out on it, and I'm not a horror fan. Like, I really am not. Yeah. So I think once a month is going to be a good pace for me. But I'm glad that you're disappointed in that. That's not glad that you're disappointed, but it makes me feel good that he enjoyed the conversation. You know what I mean? I love
Vepper's description. I watched that quiet movie with dude from The Office this week. That's great.
That will be one of the ones that we watch as well. That'll definitely be a cool one. Zarek says he's fine with either way, but do whatever is easiest. I think it does make sense to split that off in a separate thing. And from an editing standpoint, like just the audio versions, that's super simple to do. Yeah. Maybe I can do like a little guitar ditty as I don't know, I'll cover like, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that, or like a little 3 seconds, like 3 notes of Jason or whatnot. Throw a bunch of reverb on it.
Halloween.
Yeah, okay. Okay, there you go. I'll try to do a little Halloween thing. My buddy and I are going to, he used to be he was a touring musician, but he's got a kid and adult stuff now, so he, band's done. But we're going to do a cover song together. And I haven't played with anybody in a while, so that's going to be fun. So he's really good on production, so he's going to teach me how to do that stuff. So it may be a few episodes before there actually is a theme song in there that I did, but yeah, that might be fun to do. I'll have to do it really wild so that we don't get Halloween's really easy on guitar. But I got to make sure that I make it different enough that we don't get popped every time on YouTube for it. So, But cool. All right, Jim, Kick-Ass Gamer, thanks for stopping by. Did you have any other final comments before we say thank you to everybody and do our wrap up?
No, we're good. Let's
Cool.
do this.
Vepper, Zarek, thank you guys very much. Ether, always a pleasure. We had some new faces in here tonight, which was really cool. Arioka and Rashad, Rob4259. It's good to see you guys. Also, Sheila was in here, which was really cool. So, and Iceman and Ken, of course, can't forget those guys.
Yeah.
So, thank you everybody for joining. It's good to see everybody again this week. And next week, we will most likely be back to Wednesdays instead of a Friday.
Yeah. Should be.
So, if you would like to support the show, again, we do have some Amazon affiliate links, or you can give us reviews and any of the podcast services that you download us at, Google Play or iTunes, any of that kind of stuff. Podcast Addict, Dustin, we were at 970 subscribers. We are almost to 1,000 on that app. So thank you to who's ever joining us from there. That's really, really cool. Makes us feel really good. If you want to hear the archives, I think I only have like 15 or 20 episodes in the feed because it takes too long to load otherwise. But our entire archive is available on our website, classicelite.com. If you'd like to interact with us on social media, we pay attention to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. So those are all places that you can see us and all that. And again, this is the warning that at the end of the month we will be watching Cabin in the Woods, hanging out with Chris Hemsworth, having a good time. So everyone, thank you very much for listening to episode 279 of the Classic Elite Podcast. And we'll see you next week for episode 280.
Boosh.
I thought you were going with mouth.
Mouth. I thought about it.
All right. Hey, thanks for the compliment. You guys all have a wonderful night, and we'll hope to see you next week. Thanks a lot.
Peace. 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 Peace.
Peace.